Good plan. Great plan, some might say.
I know.
Some might say the best.
I know.
Don't know if I agree with that, but it's pretty good.
That's how it goes. Kit 10K already threw in $10.
Oh.
So first super chat, booyah!
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes. What do people think today?
Welcome
This
back,
is going to be an
guys.
interesting one.
Well, everyone out there right now is the watcher because they're all watching us.
Who are we watching?
We're watching each other, which is sad. But it's not 2024 yet, so we're talking about the watcher from 2024.
Ah, so what we're saying
We're
is
almost there.
we'll rename Trekyards the Watcher Yards in 2024 and catch up. Maybe we should fly to LA in 2024, go to the locations they shot, and say, "We're here, Picard," or like try and match them up, and then like have him beam in, and we're in the same exact environment, and then that's not geeky at all.
We're the watchers. We'll tell you what to do in season 2.
It's like I should still be around when Zephyr Cochrane finally goes to warp. So I'm thoroughly excited to see the news broadcasts of somehow the reincarnated guy that was in Babe is now once again launching a warp device, because that's going to be a thing for Trekkies. Like, this was the place that oh, it's not here. Shit, Vulcans, please.
Yep.
Aye.
Yep. Well, 50 people watching, 27 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Come on now.
This will be an interesting one. I think this is a. I personally, I was happy to wait and see, but the amount of YouTube content I've seen around this since it came out has made me think it's more of a big deal, like worth talking about. Because I was like, you know what I mean? Like, so many people are discussing it. I was like, okay, I guess we'll discuss it too. Seems like the other topic of the episode.
Oh, it was a good suggestion from you, because all morning, like, I had a dentist appointment, I had to get my hair cut and stuff, and all morning I'm thinking, what are we going to do for live? And I thought, wait a minute, it's William Shatner's birthday. We could do like 10 favorite Kirk moments or something.
Oh, that's fun.
And it's like, no, the Watcher, much better idea. More topic.
That's nice. That's a good idea though. That's a thing though. That'd be a thing to work out. But yeah, happy birthday to William Shatner, 91.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I'll start sharing.
Please do. All right, guys. As you see, a few people have super chatted, which is great. So thank you to them. And by all means, super chat if you're able to. If you can't, though, and you want to help us on a monthly basis, you can click that join button and kind of subscribe to the channel. It's like a monthly way to support the channel, or head on over to Patreon/Trekyards. It's another one. Also, don't forget there is the Teespring and the TeePublic store down below. Right now, the TeePublic store has its last sale of the month, which is up to 40% off. So if you guys want some cool Trekyards merchandise, now's the time to snag it. 40% off is a good deal. So go check that out. TeePublic store down below. Also, there's the Eagle Moss link. There's an affiliate link. So if you want to click that and go pick up some Eagle Moss stuff, that would be a good thing to do as well. You can use the discount code Trekyards10 when you check out. To basically save yourself some money. So also you can send a PayPal to trekyards@hotmail.com. Just let us know in a regular chat that you've done that. We'll read your comment or question via the email from PayPal. So lots of ways to get your thoughts in on what or who the Watcher is. Should be an interesting discussion. I've seen a lot of really interesting stuff online as to who it could be. Some are very interesting. Don't know necessarily if I want to see those things. Some I wouldn't mind seeing, but I know what I want personally, and I'm sure we'll talk about all that stuff. So thanks for watching and joining us. The Cynical Optimist throws in £5. Had this open ready and was playing Halo until it came on. Heard you guys speaking as I cloak delete. As cloak delete was stalking me. Damn near crap myself. Hi. Hi, Cynical Optimist.
I almost bought a Halo assault rifle the other day. Almost. I'm like, do I need that for a Trek shorts? I can't justify that for a Trek shorts. I can't. But I want one. It's like I need to have a Halo assault rifle a la Halo 3 and a Aliens assault rifle, because those are both iconic designs. Just saying.
Yeah. Ozzy throws in $2. Awesome haircut, super caption full. Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
So when I say that, you
You look
say,
sexy,
"Oh, I've just
but-
gelled it," but I guess it's a haircut as well. Okay.
It's a haircut today.
Okay.
Isn't it glorious? Anyway, Josh Noel has joined the channel at the rank of Commander. So welcome aboard, Commander. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and joining the crew. We appreciate it.
We hope you enjoy our content, and do let us know, since you've got our attention very much so, how long you've been watching us, because we do a lot of stuff, and people join us for Discovery, or for Picard, or for back in the day the ship content, or back in the day the interview content. If you're even further back, let us know. So Stuart, give us the backstory while I write down a poll. What is this topic? Why is this a thing? Not necessarily who it might be, but why? What is the context here?
Well, as you guys know, there was a divergence in time in 2024, which created the Confederation in Picard's time, which is not a good thing. Very much like the Mirror Universe, the Terran Empire. So not only did they have to go back in time to stop this, whatever it was that caused the divergence, but they also have some assistance, apparently. Someone in that time is known as the Watcher. So we're here today to speculate and talk about all the different things it could be. And there's a lot of interesting theories out there. I know which one I want to be true, but there are some other ones that really kind of piqued my interest and had me going, that would be kind of cool if they could actually do that. So we're here to talk about them. So hopefully you guys will super chat your thoughts in on who it might be, who you think it'll be, who you're betting on, and we will find out hopefully next episode. But yeah, I think it'd be a good topic for discussion, as Samuel pointed out. So yes, hopefully you guys will take part as well. By the way, guys, 80 people watching, 42 likes. Hit that like button. Let's get up to 50 people.
Click.
50 likes. I mean, you know.
So read the poll, Stuart. These are the main four, I think, at least canon logic wise. We will discuss as well as more as you guys throw it in. What do you think? Well, read the poll. I mean,
well, there are a lot more than that. But who do you think the Watcher is? Guinan, 29th century time cop known as Ducane is his name. Random alien, or Sarah Silverman from Voyager.
so those are the main four.
See,
The one is obviously just random alien, so that's a generic category of someone new. Those are the main four that I have heard, noticed.
That's likely the case, but and the one that should have been on there, I think, instead of Random Alien, with Gary 7. If they tie in Gary 7 from Assignment Earth,
that's interesting.
That'd be kind of neat.
Well, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or one of his kind that is on Earth this time. So
that's both a random alien to be a new character and an existent race character thing. Ooh, that's wow, curveball. Or it's just a slightly Eastern European looking lady, and it's like, and her name's whatever the name of the cat was. And like, wait a minute, is that the cat?
Isis.
Is the cat still? That'd be even more subtle. They even reference it specifically. It's like, oh, it's Isis, the lady who barely speaks. It's like, etc. But if you want to hear you guys random thoughts.
Yeah. One other one that's been thrown around is just Data's head. That's under San Francisco, right? Yeah.
So they can't de-age his full body.
A lot of people are saying Brent Spiner, like the old Brent Spiner character. No, it's not him. It's not going to be him.
And why can't it be him? Because we know he's going to be in the episodes based on hints.
Because he's a human. End of discussion. Why can't it be him? That's why. He's not Noonien soon. He is a soon, probably, but yeah, no, it's not going to be him. Other people have said Soji. How's it going to be Soji? She's not back in 2024 unless she time traveled back there somehow. Other people have said Laris, and again, that doesn't make much sense either. A different
future lives from a different timeline. I'm under the impression they're going to double time jump. They're going to have to go back and resolve things. Because if they've filmed both full seasons, so they could easily include season 3 clips and the trailers to put people into confusion, which is phenomenal if they did that. Where they have to go back in time to resolve a new problem, and they bring the whole team, which I think is more likely. It's, you don't kill Elnor without knowing that it's a very tight-knit story, etc.
And of course, there's the other one, Cisco, Prophet. But as much as I would like that, and Cisco is in 2024, well, he's around here.
Bell is in 2024.
Yeah, so I mean that would be great. I would love that tie-in, but unfortunately, with Avery Brooks, damn.
I mean, I definitely want Jadzia. de-age Jadzia in it, even if she just walks by camera, and just because she won't know who Seven is, or she wouldn't know Seven or Raffi, so she might know Raffi but be too much younger. Versus if she doesn't know Raffi, she needs to walk past Seven. I'm like, did they just hire Terry Farrell for a cameo? And she's in a future the exact same, because in fact I saw Terry's more open doing costumes than most other Trek actors. She was in a same wedding garb in a Vegas like 4 years ago, and she still fit into. It's impressive after 20 years. And for this last cruise, she did TOS again with the same hair. So you can imagine they recreate her future costume from whatever the episode was called, and have it be in a scene. I would be very, 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 very for. And I would certainly write that if I was there. Talk about having a prequel to DS9 inside of your sequel to. Maybe they need a prime timeline tricorder, and they say, "Can we borrow yours, Jadzia, because we know we're in the past." Can you imagine if Picard goes up to Jadzia, de-age Jadzia? She's like, "Captain Picard, you look so old." Time travel. You got to promise not to tell anybody. Yeah, you could keep the secret. And we cut to Ezri in the present, and now she's like, "Captain Picard, I knew you. Remember, we shared an event together." Sorry, tangent, but also fun ideas.
Yeah, some other ideas people are throwing out too is a Vulcan from Carbon Creek, sure, or Giorgio. Well, better not be Giorgio. That'd just be stupid. There's no tie into Discovery as far as we know. So,
or can anybody explain why it would be Giorgio? I don't know why it would be.
Because the Guardian of Forever can send her everywhere or anywhere. And who knows where she got sent to. Maybe that's what it's about, but I don't want it to be that.
It could send doesn't mean there's evidence or reason why it would send. So
exactly.
Certainly, I would think it's the opposite. And if you want to have a... No, I couldn't see that argued at all. Very, very different. So who do you want to tackle first then? Oh, I think Guinan people are throwing it as the most obvious one, especially as he does go to her location.
Mm-hmm.
But she wouldn't be there because it's not her bar back then. So what are your thoughts on it being Guinan who is the Watcher?
That opens up a lot of problems and a whole can of worms. She looks a lot older and, I hate to say it, but bigger in when we do see her. And there's an explanation for that. I don't think they could really pull off a young Guinan, because she would have to look like she did between Time Zero and TNG. She'd have to look like that.
Digitally de-aged and digitally de-weighted. Like full, the body especially would have to be fully redone. At that point, is it worth it? As in contextually, Brent. I mean, if they failed to do Brent and he finished for the most part,
Philip Goyat puts in 5 pounds. But who watches the Watchers? It's a good question. Good episode too.
Yeah, I think Guinan would be. It would feel too cyclical to episode 1. That we just came back to the same point. She is on Earth probably, because you say she is, but she wouldn't have sensed a change in the timeline yet, because she didn't. She's not sensing every variant.
Nothing's changed yet. The event hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, a big point of Enterprise was all of time instantly shifted. It's not to say that she understands that. Oh wow, 3 light years away, a rock was moved because someone time traveled in the Delta Quadrant. Like that's not. I can't see it being how her time dial works, and so she would be non plus. In which case, what's the point? And I don't think Guinan would be that interested in 21st century Earth to be like watching for X, Y, or Z. I don't know what she was just sort of living her life.
It's not her job. She's not there for time monitoring.
No, she'll have to have some other job that isn't a bartender, doing something else on Earth. And then you have to say, well, how did she get on Earth even more? She's been on Earth all throughout all of the world wars. All of the Gen X war. It's a bit of a shit place to be. I can't assume she left. Honestly, I never for once assumed after her Mark Twain. I assumed she called a cab, called a Discovery shuttle, and left the planet years ago. Or years after, but before everything else.
Awesome Sauce says Captain Braxton. Well, it wouldn't be Braxton. It'd be, I guess, Captain Ducane now, the first officer. So
Admiral Ducane, retired, you know.
George Mangrum, $5. Weren't the Bell riots in San Francisco and not LA? Yeah.
Yep. But doesn't mean they can't travel via beam, commuter train, car.
Well, they do steal the car at one point, or a police vehicle.
Yeah. I mean, Picard sending beams from ship to location, so they have beam available again.
Yeah.
But I think
Mark Mendel. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to continue about.
Yeah. Mark Mendel, $5. Michael Burnham, because everything is Michael Burnham. No.
I mean, I wouldn't be against Sonequa being a Burnham's great-great-great-grandmother, but be a very different character with different hair and different look. But I wouldn't feel like I didn't think it would add. Like, there's so many better opportunities for anything else to happen. They feel like we just want to get Sonequa and Patrick in the same scene. And it's like, okay, that's fine.
Please never do that.
Well, it'd be fine. You know, it wouldn't be as exciting as getting Ducane or Guinan, fully young Guinan back.
Well, Equinox says, wouldn't Guinan still be on her home world at this time? No, she was on Earth 100+ years ago with Mark Twain. So
and Data and Picard.
Yeah.
So you can easily rationale she's still around or has vaunted around since.
Or come back to Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
I would assume she got left where and came back or whatever. But
yeah, yeah. But you've got Whoopi, you've got whatever. So I'm glad the poll isn't reflecting Guinan being the top choice, because that's less interesting to me. Now, Sarah Silverman was a fantastic, you guys suggested choice. She would look the appropriate age older. The character was great. You could do anything with it. And she was watching the stars. So thematically, perfect. And given that she knows all about the future to a certain extent, I can imagine maybe you could retcon that Tom gave her a certain like information signature that if anything happens with human time travel, Starfleet signature maybe, like if Starfleet signature equals this, and then she's able to track down like a tricord or whatever. And so like I want to help present day time travelers if I can, because that's what I'm like.
See, she would be what I would refer to as a helper, not a watcher. A watcher implies somebody that notices time shifts or knows that something's going to happen wrong. She's just a person that is aware of the future, aware of Starfleet, and would be willing to assist. I wouldn't call her the watcher. I can't see her labeled as the watcher in any sense.
But but it's a two-pronged thing. She is still watching the stars for more time travel to happen. And because she was always watching with her company, because she'll be head of some sort of science institute, she was able to now help because she was watching. So she's watching the stars, and she's helped several time travelers throughout the years. That's how I would play that.
Yeah, and that doesn't sound right to me. I don't think that's at all the case.
Yeah, watcher of the stars.
Other people have said the white-eyed individual behind Picard in the trailer, but there's a few of them. First of all, it's not just one.
Nope.
But it could definitely be the Watcher has these guys with him or them for some reason. Don't know how they tie in exactly yet, but it's a good possibility. It's going to be, yes, random white-eyed alien that we have never heard of before, and I just hate that. Please don't do that.
Yeah, it's very likely going to be, you know, Jantex the Lenthak, and he was an alien who came to Earth, and he can take over people's minds, and that's how he talks to Picard. And it's like, oh, okay. And he's been watching the time stream because X, Y, and Z. And it's like, oh, okay. And he can make the kind of zombies that can talk. I'm more inclined, honestly, if that's a red herring, if that's something that maybe he's seeing. I honestly wouldn't be even against if Q is doing this hallucinations to him, making him see something, you know, the lifeless eyes. It's definitely one of those most odd things. But I'm not overly excited for that subplot, I'll be honest. I think it looks like, you know, zombies, etc. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, not really, but that's the vibe it gives off, being chased. Hopefully it's just a small element, or even maybe it's a device that lets the real Watcher see through their eyes. It's a technology that kind of allows him to tap into their, you know, that still doesn't quite. I don't know.
Mark Lawrence, $5. The Watcher should be someone like the 29th century temporal agent, but are the writers that smart? The new ones, I mean, Dave Blass is on point, and you know, I would hope that the whole season will be the similar kind of smart thinking and writing. So hopefully, but Jasper Jedi, great name, throws in $10. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
In my opinion, Time Cop would make the most logical sense and interesting story-wise. There was a breach in the timeline. Q could erase evidence, but it would be great to explore the era of the timeline, the 2900s. Well, I like the idea that there's already a temporal incursion happening right now with Cisco and Bashir and Dax here.
Yep.
He's already here investigating something else, or it showed up on his future time radar as a huge blip, not just one incursion, but two within the space of a small amount of time. So he goes to Earth.
3 with the Vulcans.
Well, that's still quite a ways away. But he goes to Earth in this year to like go undercover and find out what's going on. That perfect. Do that. Ducane. They got the actor, so if it's not the same character, I'm going to be super disappointed.
That's the thing. I mean, I'm glad the poll is higher on that, but it's the most own goal move versus epic move. But I want to jump back to that a little bit later, just because that's the best option in my opinion as well. What do people say? Yeah, let's talk about the Gary 7 thing for a minute, because that was a whole interesting curveball. So talk me through the logic then. And was that a thing you came up with, or you saw online as a maybe?
I've seen people suggest that online. I like it though, because as you know, Gary 7 was, his ancestors were taken from Earth way back in the day. They were raised on an alien planet and sent out to correct things and keep an eye on Earth to make sure it doesn't destroy itself. So it would make perfect sense to have Gary 7 be the person, but then you got to explain to everybody, all the new audience, who the hell Gary 7 is. You'd have to do the same thing with Ducane, but Ducane would make more sense.
Well, he'd explain himself.
Exactly, yeah. Gary 7 would too, but I just feel it's more of like a curveball out of nowhere that I don't see them necessarily doing, because Gary 7 was supposed to be a spin-off TV show, so it was a pilot, that episode, and it didn't go anywhere. I don't know if they would do that or not. So the Gary 7 thing's interesting because that's what they're on Earth for, to stop these kind of things, or to put things right that are going to go wrong, kind of like stay on back. But yeah, I don't know. I like the Gary 7 idea. I just don't think it's going to fly, personally.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a very, very hardcore reference, and it's very 60s in its way of doing things. And you can imagine he would be now, in a suit with a gun, way more suave, maybe in full leather. You have to sort of update the look, because it can't be the same literal person. The actor's long since passed away, etc. So it'd have to be another agent from that era. Maybe the Gary 8 might be the joke. What's your name, Gary 8? And then, wait, Kirk met a Gary 7. I know. It's like, okay. So definitely interesting. It would, similar to Ducane, but we know the rules vaguely of his world. What can those other massively powerful aliens do or not do? Can they help Picard? Can they not? Do they care about the future? Do they not? In this grand sense. But then, why aren't they helping often? A lot of the TOS threads, while canon, who are the Organians beyond TOS? Who is Trelane beyond TOS? So they don't really ever delve into it. So adding Gary 7 back adds in these other elements of, well, what do we do with that? But it would be a really lovely callback. And I can see Gary being, Gary 8, being less influential. But also, was Gary 7 always on Earth? I thought he was only brought out when he needed to be brought out. So he wasn't always watching. It was...
No, his assignment was Earth. That's why it's called Assignment Earth. He was put there to take care of Earth.
Yeah, but he was new. There wasn't a sense of he'd been there for years, and I didn't.
No, it was for his first assignment.
So he was meant to spend out the rest of his life there, just doing the job.
No, he had a portal to go where. I guess he could go back to his planet, I suppose.
Well, Earth was his planet, but
it's definitely to get anywhere on the planet. So anywhere on Earth, at least.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Dan says it could be Gary 7 because Discovery used TOS characters like Harry Mudd, Guardian of Forever. Yeah, but those are more known. You could probably ask an average Star Trek fan who Harry Mudd is or who the Guardian of Forever is, and they would get it before Gary 7. You say Gary 7, and it sounds like an anime. It sounds like something that...
Ben 10 and Gary 7 crossover.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but besides, that's Michelle Paradise and the Discovery team. This is not the same team. This team is more referring to DS9 and such, what with Gul Dukat, etc. But that's the thing, though. Is it better it's a random new, or better it's a canon? And in fact, I'll end the poll and ask now because
I don't want it to be new.
Well, read the results, and I'll ask that as a new poll.
Who do you think the Watcher is? The winner is 29th Century Time Cop, which would be Ducane at 37%. Random Alien, 30%. Second place. Third place is Guinan, and fourth place is Sarah Silverman from Voyager.
Still get a decent number of votes, though, in fairness, even with just 12%.
Here's the thing, though, what you just said in the poll you're going to make. I don't want it to be a new alien race for the simple fact that that's what pissed me off about Enterprise with the Xindi. Like, use something that is already established, even in beta canon, like the Interstellar Concordium or something similar. Don't create something new just for the sake of having something new. Yes, I know the universe is a big place. I get it. But Earth is Earth. Not everything. Earth can't be important to every goddamn species. So we've already got established people that care about that. We've never once seen the time cops doing their fucking jobs when a time incursion happens. So to bring that in and be like, all right, this verbally establishes Picard in the Prime timeline and not Discovery timeline or something. That would be fantastic. So I don't want it to be a new species. I would like it to be somebody we're aware of or have heard of in the past in some form. So that's my thought.
I can imagine a lot of some fans talk about Star Trek needing to only do new things, which is fine in concept, but the show exists in a universe of Star Trek, where now in TNG you could argue almost everything is new, inventing Cardassians, whatever. But when you build so much of your existent universe of the Alpha Quadrant, all these major races, all having into politics, all these chemicals and technologies, it's all this rich Bible tapestry of usage. To invent another doomsday bomb every week or every season, if it doesn't have the creative drive of the other ones, like Doomsday Machine or Megaparticle, it'll fall flat and won't be remembered. If you utilise the logic of the universe and link it in, suddenly you have this massive grounding and fans can relate. Simple example, isolinic bomb from Discovery. Could have been anything, but once it was said, we know exactly what it was and how powerful it is and all the context. So, whereas Star Trek Beyond, they invented this for the 50th anniversary, and they did 50 new aliens for 50th anniversary, and none of them have had any legacy at all, except maybe the lady with the claw things. I don't remember any of them because they had no presence. If they had said, "We'll bring back 50 aliens from all of Star Trek, including random ones," then you'd be like, "Wow, awesome!" That would leave an impression. Because the canon is the universe. Marvel isn't inventing new superheroes every week. It's using their grand canon, integrating existing. So it could be a new thing, but maybe a damn good new thing. Or use a logical thing, and it ties in and it all connects. And given how much they're connecting, Borg Queen, 7 of 9, it's very inter-universal that it seems insane not to use the universe when why the hell go back to 2024? There isn't that many back in time travel episodes on Earth at this sort of time period. So it must involve Bell Wrights in some way. It must involve Cisco in some, even a reference, because they picked the same year. That's got to factor in somewhere. Otherwise, why even bother going into this time? It doesn't feel like a fan, look what we did. You need to pay off that if it happens. So it's very, very interesting, the choice.
Mr. Anderson says it's maybe the new character, Gary 7 of 9. That's funny. Gary 7 of 9. Look, you can't tell. I've been scanning Earth of 2024 back here to see if I can find the Watcher, by the way, the whole time. So
that's good.
But
how's it going?
Nothing so far.
Oh.
A lot of weird anomalies.
Hopefully sometime. Hopefully sometime.
Yeah. Dan says Captain Archer's future guy. I mean, it could be future guy if they actually explain and tie in future guy. That would be kind of neat. If it's even somebody like Daniels, let's say, or somebody from a Temporal Cold War thing. At least that tie-in would be good as well. And I like the idea of it being a future guy, and kind of getting an explanation as to who the hell future guy is, like officially, would be great. So I don't have a problem with that. But yeah. CC Skippy, who's been a member for 10 months at the rank of commander, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Says, could it be Gary 7? Because we've been talking about that quite a bit before you sent that. So, but yeah, I mean, what do you think about future guy coming into it somehow?
Well, future guy himself doesn't make a lot of sense because that Temporal Cold War stuff, in theory, has already been finished. Makes more.
Cold War is never finished.
Well, that's the relative.
It's time travel. It's everywhere, all the time.
But if it was a Temporal Cold War agent, and we saw at one scene him go into like a hollow room, it's the outside of a building. He walks through a door which is closed. He walks in. You see a future room, and then the future guy appears. And it's like, oh my god, because then the voice. He's not aged because it's the voice. That would be fantastic. And then Picard would have to talk to the future guy who's been watching the timeline. Now that would be clever and logical. There's no setup for that, but certainly to have Picard walk in on one of the least appreciated arcs of Enterprise and talk to the same voiceover artist would be like, hello, and all this future stuff. I talked to Archer yesterday, or actually be kind of like Pegasus from Enterprise, be like, it's during season 3 of Enterprise or season 2, so it's like in between events. I talked to Jonathan Archer yesterday, and then maybe you hear like a two-way call. Archer's like on the phone. It's like future guy's still talking to Archer. There's like a silhouette of Archer on the other side of the room. And it's like Jonathan Archer. Yeah, there's some potential there, but then you've got the problem of we know the Temporal Cold War ended. We know Tunnel's not allowed, so now you've got those problems in. Ducane may or may not be in it. That might add more complication. What then is that guy doing? Because then future guy, he changes things, he doesn't fix things, so he's the thing that's changing stuff, but he explicitly changed stuff in the Archer time, so then you've got to add what changes the entire temporalness.
Maybe because the things didn't work out in the time of Archer, that he goes back a little further.
True.
Yeah. John Myers says, I also consider Captain Braxton too. I mean,
it's not Braxton.
Time travel, it could be Braxton, but we already have the actor who plays Ducane, who helps 7 of 9 in Voyager, and who basically takes command from Braxton in this show. So
Braxton's in jail anyway, time jail.
Yeah, but else it's time travel, so he could jump back to this time if he really wanted to earlier or something. I don't know. Time travel.
Well,
possible.
Yeah, if he triple escaped. God, Braxton escapes 9 or 10 times in time travel. They can never keep hold of him.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you already got the actor that played Ducane, so just use that. That's perfect.
But the more I'm discussing this, the more I think they're just going to have it be a new person, and that annoys me.
I do too. 190 people here, 74 likes. What annoys me is we're not at 100 yet, so hit that like button, guys. We already got 1 new member, so if you want to be the second member to get to the goal of 2 members per live, hit that join button and check it out. But yeah, let's hit that like button and get those likes up. You should be able to hit 100 easily, maybe even 150. So please hit that like button.
How are the poll results doing, Stuart?
I have no idea. Hold on. Let's see. Do you want the Watcher to be a brand new alien character or existing canon character? With 98 votes, existing canon character is at 84%. Thank God, everybody's kind of on the same page with that.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't need a brand new alien. I don't. Really don't.
Well, we wouldn't.
And Shannon Murphy, yes, the Bell riots happened in 2024. There could definitely be a tie in there. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. This year, this day, this week, Picard could maybe need to find something from that, And it would be
week in Black history.
Yeah. And it would be special if Picard, beams into the Bell riots and speaks to Cisco obviously de-aged, would be a deep fake because Avery wouldn't necessarily come on set. But, you know, deep faked Cisco, get another actor to play his face and then deep fake him over and have him say a few lines of pre-recorded dialogue from the show. You could stitch them together maybe.
I'd be fine with that. I would like to see Cisco return in some form at some point, but
because then you don't have to deal with him being a prophet if he's still him from the past.
Yeah. Joseph Barbato says, could it be Laris? Why would it be Laris? Why would Laris be in 2024?
Which version of Laris? As
exactly.
In our timeline, the dead timeline one, another future alternate timeline one.
Because apparently she died at the gates of whatever.
Doing whatever.
Rebel upheaval with her husband. There's pictures of her dead body, so it's not from the Confederation timeline. Wouldn't be from the Prime timeline.
That's just been erased.
No, Laris doesn't make much sense.
Only if Q snaps her back in time. Like, we know she's in the past, but it doesn't make sense in this version of the past trip. There'll be other things.
I think you're right, though. They're going to fix something. Go back to the future. It's not quite right. Get Laris to join them.
And
go back again.
Daj. Or Soji, whichever one's alive.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're also around too, so...
Because I don't know why there would be... The plot seems so snappy that having that weird Rios in a suit scene, like, next episode feels out of the blue. So I think it'll be other things, especially if they learn how to sort of live in this time in these 2 or 3 as they jump in this part of the timeline, then do forward and back things. Yeah. But one of our people asks, Anti-Hell says, how about a crossover?
Yes, they do show...
Sorry, Stuart.
I was just saying, Christian Montgomery says they show Laris with white eyes in the trailer. Yes, they do, but we don't know yet. That's about it. So.
But Anti-Held says, how about a crossover with Dune, Stuart? Do you want a crossover with Dune this season?
How about... No, absolutely not. That's just stupid.
Well, could happen.
General Grievous, $2. Future Guy removed NX-01 from Picard's ready room, LOL. Well, it's not his ready room. It's a briefing room or a conference room. So, General Grievous, you fail.
It would be great if Picard mentions the NX-01 at some point, showing he does know it exists. That'd be sweet. Just like Archer did back in his day. You fought Archer? You know. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many great ideas. They're just gonna piss it all away and say, "Oh, it's this new race. This is white-eyed aliens that are like harvesting chronoton particles, and they're on Earth for some reason because something stupid."
It's tricky because if this was Discovery, we'd say, of course, it's not anything fun or smart. All of our ideas are better.
They would try to be smart. They would try to be smart and say, "We know Star Trek. It's Gary 7," and they totally ruined Gary 7 or something. That's what Discovery would do.
Yeah.
Kit 10K throws in $20.
Ooh.
What if the Watcher is a member of Guinan's race who died and became an energy life form? Star Wars idea ripoff, I know, but anything is possible in Star Trek. Plus, we know so little about her race, it might be possible. Sure, but whatever. Actually, I watched a video not that long ago about Guinan, how she's actually unique in her ability to sense time issues because of her time in the Nexus. She brought some of the Nexus back with her. She didn't have it before the Enterprise B incident.
Damn.
That's why she's unique. She can sense when there's a time issue. It's
good.
It's not like her. Not all the Elorians are able to do that.
Although,
so I kind of like that theory as well, but I don't know much about the Elorians to say that for sure.
Although, given that they were literally 2 ships of Elorian refugees, it means all of the Elorians in that ship could do it, including Soren. It's not all Elorians, but it's at least a couple of hundred, or like 200. That's a really good idea. That's a really, and you can imagine why Q be pissy because he keeps finding Elorians that can see time and he can't change it around them. That's good. That's smart. I don't mind if it is, though, another Elorian. That would be interesting. I mean, it is both a new and old character in a sense, and then maybe they can talk. Oh, you met Guinan. Yes. Oh, she's she
Yeah,
told.
she's off world right now, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But it have to be a really solid actor to play. It's kind of like when we had the other Q in early TNG, the one in the skin tight grey. Like, he's mimicking Delancey, but it doesn't come across as a true performance in the same way. So it's like, it's okay. So, but then again, Soren is not an Elorian that you would like register as being an Elorian. So, oh, what if it's Soren? I mean, Mr. McDowell. I know, but okay. Well, what are they watching? That's probably a good question to get into. What are they actually watching? Are they watching for time events? Are they watching for alien tech? Are they watching for what are they watching for? You know, that might be a clue.
I think watching for alien incursions of some kind would be interesting. That would make a lot of sense. Like, keep Earth away from aliens until they're ready, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It could be the kid. It could be the kid that we see the Vulcan or the Romulan mind meld with. That maybe they gave the gift to a human somehow. Like, that would be incredibly annoying, but.
Yeah, I definitely see it kind of like Torchwood in Doctor Who. They're watching Earth to protect it, etc. But then you need to have some serious tech to back up those claims, him or her. And then they basically just get in Gary 7 level. That's just the job of Gary 7. There isn't, why invent a new thing for that? And then, why is this creature, alien personage, able to detect what's going on when Picard's scanners can't? Because they do have shipboard sensors, they do have tricorders. If it's just a case of their tech is better, that's not particularly a good oomph. Whereas if it is Ducane, then there is watching the timeline. That is truly everything in a nutshell of what you need.
Kit 10K throws in $5. I highly doubt it is. Not my best suggestion, but at this point, anything is still possible, I suppose. And absolutely anything is possible at this point. I'm pretty sure we're going to find out who the Watcher is next episode, though. So I'm excited for it. I just want it to be good.
Well, that's the thing about Guinan that you...
Somebody here... Oh, go ahead.
No, you.
Somebody here mentioned... Did anybody mention the Traveler? It could be. We never got a sense that he was... Well, he could stop time, I guess, because Wesley did. But we never got a sense they were time travelers, per se. You know? Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that's basically...
I'm going to call you back, because that's really garbage.
Yeah. There's definitely a blank slate of a character, because what does the Traveller do? Is it the same guy? Probably not. Is it the same race? Maybe. I don't know. But Traveller does not imply Watcher. You know?
So you were saying that the Traveller is like a blank slate for a character?
Yeah, we know so little, but also you got the caveat of, well, he's a Traveller, not a Watcher. Like Guinan, as you said in a previous thing, Guinan's a listener, not a Watcher. So if you can take it literally, those aren't the roles those things do. Whereas Ducane was a Watcher on the Relativity. Entire job. You know?
He absolutely was. Yep. Watching the entire timeline. Yep. And I would really want them to bring that back. Because like I said, the time cops have never done their fucking job. Ever.
Well, no, they have, and you just don't know, Stuart.
You just
It's
don't know.
way
I know,
worse
that's
stuff.
true.
Well, wouldn't
It's like me showing up. Does Friday come after Thursday now? Thank God. There was a while there where that was all fucked up. I got that fixed. Okay, good.
Now, if you're going to go full on, right? Full, absolutely tip-top on, and you have Relativity Guy, Ducane, what I would do, and this is not about his possibilities, just a side note, have him talk to Picard and say, Picard says, well, you guys don't do anything. And he says, yes. And you like cut to sequences from time episodes we've already seen in TNG, and we cut like Trials and Tribulations, cut to a corner and he's done something to like reroute power that allowed X to happen. So he's the reason the Chronoton field was able to activate in First Contact. He was the, he did the thing that did the thing. Subtle. If all these events knew a time guy was helping, but to show he was on his, as we see here, console helping the flow of time. I can imagine a really, really good little sequence with DH him, obviously, but of him working his controls and doing time cop. Then they can retcon the entire time cop agency as being productive and active, and things happening, and then you know.
Emo Seal, sorry, the guy with the white eyes in the trailer. Yes, maybe, possibly, probably, but there's multiple guys with white eyes in the trailers, so maybe that's the Watchers network. They are basically his eyes, literally, even though they don't have any, and he's linked to them to kind of get a broader view of what's going on. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, there is no white eye guy. There's white eye effect on several people. Yes. It's not that simple. Besides, I wouldn't just show him this important character who might actually not be that important in the grand scheme, just grabbing and whatever in a scene. See, like I said earlier, this didn't strike me as a massively uber important let's see what happens sort of thing. Like, I didn't necessarily need to think about it too much. Just felt like, well, hopefully it's this, it won't be this, and they'll do something weird,
But the linchpin to our whole thought is the fact they got the actor back that played Ducane. It makes perfect sense. It's synergy, and if they have, I know Star Trek's notorious for having actors back to play different roles. If they do that, they just have him be an immigration cop or just a prick cop that doesn't tie into his other character. That's going to be so disappointing.
Well, what is the point? He's made such an impression in his one appearance. So now I guess we can talk about him as we're, over halfway through now. So Ducane was a 29th century officer in a single episode of Relativity, where the future stuff only is in about 30 minutes of the episode. It's not even that much. And he plays second fiddle to Braxton, but then takes charge near the end. He's also the guy that works with Seven to train her multiple times, which perfectly, I said this to you previously, allows Jerry and this actor to be in a scene, and she'd be like, Ducane, 7 of 9, and instantly trust him, which alleviates any of those wasting moment scenes, And it's because, like, who's this? I can't tell you. He's like, well, actually, I'm from the 20th century, you can trust me. And she's like, yeah, you can. So you skip all that stuff and work towards the future. No, pun, I guess. That's really cool. And he can make a joke saying, oh, last time I saw you was in the 2650. I wasn't there. Oh, it must be after you now. It's like, what? Like, you could play fun at that because she's a time traveling occasional helper. And like I said, the actor's back, and yes, reuse actors, but what are the chances that this one actor who's not been Trek in decades is rehired for Picard in the exact time travel story that would play, without a beard or anything, so it looks sort of similar, with Picard Patrick, our hero, with a fixing the timeline issue? The chances of that are mind-bogglingly small. Even if he presents himself as not Ducane until the last minute, and then it's like a twist, like we think, oh, he is just some random guy. If they didn't have that, honestly, it is somewhat like having George Ducane in a trailer, and he plays Frederick, and it's like, who's Frederick? He's just a guy, we just hired him. So, okay? It's so random when it's all right there, especially if they decide to go full in on and show Relativity. And if they want to go vicious and have, what we had that with Daniels in Enterprise. It's a very effective scene where he pulls Archer into the present, his present, and Earth's ostensibly destroyed, and the tech has been destroyed, and this is the future people won. And so to have Ducane here, who's been stuck for 15 years or 7 years or whatever, because the future got erased, even to the point of his time shields being ineffective, because time travel only affects from the forward point. So he could easily be stuck. He's been stuck for a long time. it tells you that whatever happened to the timeline even affected the temporal cauldron on the time cops. It all got erased, which is then top level time manipulation. That's like, well, I mean, the Q could just do it very easily. It's so engaging, so interesting. It would be shocking if he doesn't played him.
Mr. Anderson says, one issue with the Ducane actor. In episode 1 of this season, they had the Admiral getting Picard back into the field as a new character. She previously played a transporter operator in TNG. Yeah, she's also an actual astronaut. But, again, she's an Admiral. Did she even have a name in the credits? I don't even know. It could be the same character that moved up through the ranks to become an Admiral. She was younger than Picard, so...
Yeah, they said she wasn't, but why wouldn't you have her be the same? But also,
well,
I don't think
that's their point, though.
Well, yeah, but I also don't think they looked that similar. Personally, I wouldn't necessarily clock the two of them. She looks, whereas the Ducane actor looks a lot closer. I mean, we've only seen a side view, but I think you could pick him out more. But yes, I mean, perfectly possible. But that's a nice homage to a single scene. That's not an important scene. Anyone, that could be Admiral Nechayev. That could be Clancy. It could be any admiral. This one's a bit more specific. You know.
Yeah. Jared Byers puts in $5 and says, "I would love to think it's Wesley Crusher and that he gets to tell Picard to shut up. That'd be funny. Wesley doing his traveler type deal, and Picard's going off. Oh my God, Q did this. Q did... Shut up, Picard. That'd be kind of funny, but not gonna happen.
It's tricky because
$10K, $10.
No, that's fine.
He said it's tricky because what?
Keep going.
Okay. Kid 10K throws in $10. I suggested it before, but what if the Watcher is an energy life form that goes from person to person at will, hence the white eyes, which is how it's the Watcher? Yeah, it could be. That could be a definite explanation for the white-eyed people. So.
No, and that's absolutely fine. And an energy life form is interesting. It's certainly more interesting than otherwise.
Yeah.
It's not super interesting by any inconvenience, but it is interesting.
Area 51. Yeah. Area 51, $5. Out and about, but still listening. Call me the listener. Okay, Area 51 is now the listener from here on out.
Oh, that's fun.
General
Good job.
Grievous,
Good joke.
$2. How many races from TOS could this be with white eyes? It could be one of the gamesters of Treskelion guys, I suppose. Oh man, I don't know.
That's the thing, though. It either really is someone we know, or it really is just a curveball of it. And that's the tricky thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the show has been very successful in actually utilizing the canon. I mean, we've seen them out of... Well, that's production design, where it's just adds something to the set. It's not so much as the scripting. But I'm trying to think of all the things we've included in the show so far in terms of direct... all the skulls linked to Cisco in the dialogue, all the Sovereigns, the Excelsior... I'm trying to think what else story-wise I've linked to. Well, the time travel was well done. The slingshot was well realised, utilised, and discussed. They mentioned Kirk. That's a canon thing you don't necessarily have to mention. The Bell Rights is in the frame, even though it's not, as in the hints of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of scattershotted like a lot of people here, but anybody else have any? Well, Apollo's race. So it's just the old Greek gods when the aliens came back. Doesn't make any sense though. It doesn't tie in really. Like,
I just find it so amazing if Ducane pulls him in, and then the guy says, "It's all yours." Detective Ducane, and Picard doesn't know who he is, so he steps in, and the guy turns and says, "Captain Picard, do I know you? Oh, how do you know me?" Long story, and then they have a conversation, and then Seven, breaks him out of the cops area. No, vicious like, we'll get Ducane, Seven. I've got the prisoner. Like that, but he can't go with him because he's or you guys solve the future, I'll stay, and then there's so much there. or even because it's alternate future, he can even get killed, and then he shows up later in the relatively uniform because now he never did have to go. But yeah, there's the time things.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting if he says, "Hey, so this is what the thing you need to correct is. This is the event. We've read it on the so go fix that. I got another thing to take care of. I got to change a bunch of files and history on."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bell. Apparently,
that's true.
Apparently, there was a problem. I got to change all the online information.
Oh no, that's
what I'm here for. I'm just doing desk work.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it cuts to him with like a tricorder, and he starts pressing buttons, and then he goes to a computer, and he digitally changes the face of the original actor that played Bell, and then now it's suddenly Cisco, and he's the guy that falsified all the records. Oh, that's smart. That is very, very smart. And so he closed 2 loopholes, because it happened in both timelines well beyond this, so Picard would know exactly, and he's like, or he says, yes, Cisco is currently in San Francisco. Cisco is here? Yeah, he's currently he's about to be a historical figure. What? And then he shows him a picture. That's Cisco. Yeah. Frustrating. But things, I'm not going to be too disappointed if they don't do it, because it's a risk for them to be too canony. But it's such an obvious out of the ballpark, you know.
Yeah. Kid 10K throws in $5 and says, "You like this, Stuart? It's Trelane from TOS. Bam, solved it." Yeah, right. Yeah, don't need it to be Trelane at all. It wouldn't be Trelane because no. Anyway, Stock Brown, yes. Well, he's going to be in Mandalorian season 3, so.
Picard, we've got to go back to the future, Picard.
It's not you, Picard. It's your crew.
It's your mother, Picard. It's your mother. Gotta go back to save your mother. Well,
hey, that actually works.
So. The Serena thing, Hey, to be fair, it did time travel with fire streaks because it was going across the sun, like a DeLorean would.
I think it's probably going faster than 88 miles an hour though at warp 9.6. So hey,
only slightly. Now, okay, let's throw in a big curveball as how much is Q doing here? We know he's in it. We know he's that scene with him in the paper. He's already shown to be massive cameo fodder if he's in it in a small way. Is he in it a lot? Is he the one they're trying to find? Is this a Q from previous Q-ness? Is this before future Q, before he gets pissed off? Is Q linear in some small way, you know?
Maybe, well, there's been a lot of talk. That's interesting. There's been a lot of talk about the Q not being right because it's the Q from the Confederation timeline. Like, it's a different Q, but the same Q. Maybe it is the original Q that he runs into. We do see Q hand Soong or Brent Spiner a vial of blue stuff. We do see him wearing a jumpsuit with the Europa mission patch, which a lot of people think the Europa mission being on billboards and stuff, and Q wearing that, and it's going to play a bigger role. Like that's the event they need to fix, this Europa mission. I don't know. I don't. Q is non-linear. He's also non-corporeal, which means I don't think he'd be affected by different timelines. He'd be the same in each. Yeah. But it could be that something happened that messed up the Q continuum. Q can't fix it. He needs Picard to do that, and this is his way of getting things fixed. But it could be that it's another Q. I don't know. Man. The more I talk, the more I'm like, shit, this could really work if you did it right. So,
yep.
Hey, good tea. Nice house puts in $5.
Thank you.
Let's not overlook, it could be Kovich. The guy is obsessed with alternate timelines and universes. He's hinted at this throughout Discovery season 3 and 4. Yes, and he's very knowledgeable about the past as well. But there's not going to be a Discovery Picard crossover because we know people that work on Picard that don't like Discovery, and there's been no mention of something like that. So it's not going to be Kovich. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
don't know what else to say.
It's tricky. It's tricky. So many potential. And yet one that just sits right.
And Guinan's not sitting right with me. By the way, we have 198 votes on our poll, which is amazing. So we might as well close that. Do you want the Watcher to be, and the winner, resoundingly with 84%, is existing canon character.
Excellent.
So, yeah. Speaking of, though, we have 194 people watching, and we have 123 likes.
Ooh.
Hit that like button. Let's go to 150.
Snonsig has a phenomenal theory. The big event that changed things in the timeline is the Bell Riots not happening for some reason.
Yes.
This lead us to a darker place. That is smart. If Cisco's killed...
I said that already. I said that a live or two ago.
Oh, I've not heard that.
Because the Bell Riot needs to happen to create political upheaval and change things. Otherwise, it would definitely come... Well, not definitely. It would very likely form what we saw as the Confederation, if the government was to be able to oppress people like the way they had. Because you see the people in the future in the crowd, they look kind of downtrodden. So, yeah.
That's such an interesting idea. So by undoing a DS9 episode, you create an alternate future. Hey, cool. But then... well, yeah. The problem is they said LA's the place, so it can't be. The change has to happen in LA to affect San Francisco, which is it's not close. It's not like literally a neighborhood away. It's not Boston and New York. That's a really fun idea though, for sure. And you'd need to see Cisco, and I think rescanning the footage in DS9, you could make it look HD. You could it is HD. You could easily rescan it to look much nicer. Get Terry back, de-age her. That'd be kind of fun if this is after the Bell Riots, they already got stopped, and so now you now have Jadzia again de-aged. Jadzia is now lost in the past because the future got messed up. Kind of like when the Guardian saw Killer get killed, the future was erased. So as soon as Cisco gets killed, the Federation's erased. There you go, which means he can't be saved by the Defiant because they no longer exist. So now Jadzia's stuck in the past. She helps Picard. And who wouldn't love to see Jadzia and Seven in a scene together? That'd be a great pairing. Both sharp intellects. And then they solve the problem by they have to go back again, but they've got to fix the ship to go back again. And so they go back again. Cool.
General Grievous, $2. LOL, it's Professor Rasmussen. Hey, there you go.
Yes! That's great.
Kit 10K throws in $10. Speaking of the time cops, I could never be one. Knowing my luck, I'd screw things up more. A random person. The Titanic, she's never sank. Me, oh please. Oh, F me sideways.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Fry Minis, $2. Watcher is Brandon Braga cameo. That's funny.
Anybody, no?
Wabyed puts in £2. No, I think soon teams up with Trump 2024.
What a cameo, President Trump. Would be an odd choice. John. But going to end the poll though with 211 votes. You didn't actually close it, you see. 82% existing. Only 18%. That is a tremendous thing. I mean, one more poll. I think we're starting to close out. Give me $50 more as a minimum. That was a good conversation.
Well, we have 150 likes with 187 people here. Let's see how high we can get. Let's try for 180. So if you haven't hit that like button yet, please hit it. I also would like one new member to join the channel. There's a little join button down there. Click it, check it out. We already have one new member who joined us earlier, and I want to thank a special shout out to Josh Knoll for becoming a commander. Appreciate that very much. But if anybody else wants to join and become the second member for this live stream, that would be greatly appreciated. So please click the join button and see what you can do to help out.
All right, read the poll when you see it. And I will swap thumbnails in a minute so we can announce or talk about tomorrow's live in a moment.
Do you think it will be a satisfying answer for who's the watcher? Yes, satisfying. Nope, they'll drop the ball. Or okay, just okay.
I'm interested to see. They've not let us down. They've not let us down 3 times in a row. So they have cred.
So according to their track record from season 1, it's bound to happen. That's what you're saying.
Who knows what I'm saying? Oh dear me, it's tricky because they've earned a lot more possible potential happiness, and they do seem like they know what they're doing. But there's a difference between doing a fan logical, really grabbing the bull by the horns versus a sort of a safe, okay option. Who's to say? You know, who is to say? Only a little while to find out,
But
though.
you get super kudos. Yeah, well, I mean, the team could get super kudos. They've already done that for season 2 already. If they back this up, and with the temporal agent thing, then wow, they get so many kudos from a lot of people. So
yeah.
10K throws in $5. What if the watcher is Gene Roddenberry? His soul comes back to do something, and CGI Gene. Nah.
I mean, that'd definitely be a thing. I'd say that much. I think I want it to make sense in the canon. I'm more about the canon logic. I'd want it to be very much a logical thing.
Yeah. And Shauna Leatherman says, I'm also curious as to why the Watcher would help. If they're not aligned with the Federation in some way, what motivation does they have to help? Because maybe they're on one of the worlds that the Confederation annihilates. Because they're an alien species of some kind, and it's the whole galaxy that's affected, not just the Federation. It's all the political landscape's different with the Confederation there. So a lot of people would have stake in what's going on, and that's why they're the Watcher, to make sure things like that don't happen. That's why they'd be inclined to help, I think.
Well, and just time being on its quote-unquote correct path is important. That, ripples in the sand, etc. So I have zero issue with we need to make sure time works, exists, especially if they've came from a future like that no longer exists. I mean, if they had family, etc. I mean, it's sort of your job to ensure that time stays okay. I mean, not necessarily their job, but I mean, as a conscious citizen, as part of why Spock is so hard to watch in 09, because the fact he lets Vulcan stay dead, which he's perfectly within his ability to go back and stop it. Even make it the Star Trek 4 plot maybe, as in the new Star Trek 4, but it's a problem.
Mark Lawrence, $5. Just hoping the Watcher isn't Shido. No idea who the hell that is.
It sounds like a Star Wars person. Oh, Glup was a Lup.
Matt Boardman, $10.
Oh.
It would be awesome to have a Gene cameo. I don't want it to be anything that's frying pan over the head, but just to blink and you'll miss it sort of thing that happens to walk by a camera or something. Yeah, I mean, that would be fine. I'm going to look that name up, unless you already did.
Not particularly interesting. But yeah, no, really, really interesting.
Oh.
As in this topic, who it could be, when it could be, we're close to finding out. Obviously, we have finished our Discovery coverage for this year. We're excited for more Picard coverage. We obviously won't be necessarily shipped for a little while, but I'm excited to see more of. Those are Trek Shorts Interested, my web series of Trek fan films. I had a very good shorts filming weekend last weekend, doing another weekend this weekend, filming what we call the Nightmare Short. So that'll be fun. Some emotional beats in that. I won't say which actors come back for that. After Picard, etc. Be a busy old week. Yeah, lots happening. May or may not have written Stuart something else, as he may or may not knows. He does know, but, you know. It'll be exciting to direct you on that. Wahahaha. Wahahaha. Yeah, but any other final suggestions, guys? Otherwise, we will swap to promoting tomorrow's live with special guest stars. So have your last ideas. Save them now, forever hold your guesses.
Wabied throws in £2. Knowing the writers, it's probably Michael Burnham. No, it's not.
Not these writers.
That is not the same writing team.
No, it is not. No, they have restraint. I mean, there's I mean, you could always have somebody like Robert Picardo. Being at some point he was sent back, or an EMH was sent back, but that's just, you know, okay, kind of cool, but still not. Or is it a watcher from the Confederation timeline? Maybe a future Confederation officer goes back. Which actually, that's an interesting concept. What if the Confederation now exists? What about all their time traveling excursions? Are there now going to be ripples of what if they went back to 2014, and then we changed the timeline? Well, they're still in 2014. Are there now dozens of? Yeah, what happens to the Temporal Cold War? What about the new Temporal Cold War? Boy, repercussions. Yeah. Time traveling. Well, do you think Brent's going to appear much this week? Like, as a main star, or a guest star, or very small amount?
My initial thought is he's not going to be in this next week one. He's going to be in maybe the one after that. I don't think it's going to be a big role either.
I think he will be. I think we'll get the Brent and Q stuff. I think that'll be the linchpin of the continuing story to kind of progress everything forward. That's kind of my guess.
Kit 10K, $5. What if it's the good? What if it is the good Lazarus from TOS? I doubt that. Oh, it's not going to be Lazarus. It can't be Lazarus. He's fighting the evil Lazarus for all eternity to keep the dimension safe.
One episode, eh? His little bubble ship. Okay, let's just talk about tomorrow's live while we are here. Just getting the thumbnail up. What is his name?
And Matthew, I kind of agree with you. Brett will pop up at the end of the episode for a cliffhanger. Yeah, I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
But tomorrow, we are going to be talking to John Broughton and Johnny K of Farragut Forward, which is the Wrath of Khan era expansion of the TOS show Farragut, one of the more OG fan films. Here's the thumbnail I cooked up. What are your first impressions of the images I picked? What does it tell you about this?
I don't know. I took a look at it earlier.
That's why it's on the live, so you can chill out. You should look on the live, it's all good. Yeah. Like if you're a new fan who we're talking to, you should come see it tomorrow. Why should people come see it? What sticks out to you?
Well, the Klingon is impressive for a fan film, for sure. And just even John's hair. From young John to like old, seasoned, Wrath of Khan style. Looks great.
Yeah, I think it's kind of aged into his look a bit. It looks more distinguished as the older John. But yeah, so this is their continuation. We'll be talking to them both tomorrow about the project, about their Indiegogo, about their all their things. It'll certainly be interesting. So we've got a filmmaker and one of the longest running Star Trek fan filmmakers, combined with me and Stuart. We can ask detailed questions. We definitely want you guys to join on, ask some really difficult questions and interesting questions, because they've done multiple interviews where they're live, but there's 4 people watching because we have a large fan base than them, and there's no real questions involved. So you guys should definitely be there if you want to ask some interesting questions, ask about the ships, the tech, the levels they're going to. John is big into making the costumes. So if you want to know how Wrath of Khan costume is made, well, that's definitely the guy to ask, because I think he's hand making like 12 of them which is insanity. Given that we both know how you know how.
Will you make another one? Because I'd like one.
I don't know if you can afford it. I'll be honest. I certainly can't afford it. Because he's doing the full way, Stuart.
That's cool. I could do one for free because I'm Captain Foley.
Sorry. Let me Facebook you how much he thinks each one costs to make, and you can tell me if you still think it's in budget.
Well, I think I know the budget for it, so I'll send you my guess first.
Oh, okay. Oh, yay.
There we go.
Oh, well, that's... When you say that, I can't beat that. Nothing costs
well
that much.
Then the realistic one that I got priced out for by somebody, hold on, is this. Okay. But Christian Gomez puts in $5 and says, I cannot remember where I read it. James Callis, who played the Gaius Boltar in the BSG remake, listed Star Trek Picard on his IMDb before it was removed. Yeah, but we already saw him in the trailer, so...
No, Gaius Boltar, he's not in the trailers.
James Callis is. He's the guy that plays Ducane.
No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
No, Boltar's not. We haven't seen Boltar yet. Hey, bring Boltar in. Really good. I've met him. Love the guy. Would love him to be in it. That'd be great.
$10. Just got here. Anyone mention Gary 7? Yes, everybody. We did a long section on Gary 7. But thank you for joining. 176 people here, 164 likes. Let's try to get to 175 for likes. Hit that like button. We need another 11 likes. I think we could probably do it. Yeah, see, that's actually cheaper than the one I was quoted, so.
I think it's because they're doing bulk for everything, but it's not including any of the other insignia, which obviously mounts up as well.
Yeah, that was for everything, the 1,600. So, Kit 10K, $5. I agree with you, Stuart, that the Klingon makeup is great. Paramount needs to hire you, Samuel. Well, Samuel didn't do the makeup.
I know, but we may or may not talk about CGI or whatever tomorrow. But certainly, they hire professionals to do makeup, you get professional quality. And, Klingons, you got to blend. A lot of it is just about getting the skin tones to match. Because I've seen a lot of, and I'm sure you have as well, a lot of costumers who just stick a rubber for colored.
For a convention, a lot of people just stick one on because they don't have time to do that. Yeah.
But see, for me, I would be too awkward to walk around in that because it shows zero effort apart from buying it. It's like, if you're going to do it, blend the skin tone. I wouldn't see the point in not doing it. Just don't do it then. Or be a smoothhead and just say, I'm a Klingon, are you? Yes, TOS! I do actually ask John on a live stream specifically. Because we're very big proponents of this. I said, John, are you doing smooth and ridged-head Klingons? He said, in my mind, they're always ridged head in Wrath of Khan era. I'm like, oh damn, you missed a trick. Real facial hair Klingons in the same uniforms, just with no ridges, look cool. But yeah, talking to them tomorrow should be fun for 1 hour. So join in at the 8 p.m. GMT, yes. 4 p.m. Eastern. So it's a whole thing with the time zones right now, but very early for UK people compared to our normal original time. Very, very early. But should be a good time. And like I say, if you join in, get some questions ready, think about it. He's got a lot of legacy in fan films. He's also been on other people's fan films a little bit, helped them, etc. So if you want a really, really original OG look, then there's a guy to ask. Even though I'm already at 7 years of fan films. So you can call me reasonably, whatever.
Well, the poll, we have 114 votes on. It says, do you think it will be a satisfying answer to the Who is the Watcher? The winner is at 38%, is okay, just okay. Second place is yes, satisfying at 34%.
Right.
And nope, they'll drop the ball at 28%. So the winner is 38%. It's going to just be okay.
But that's not a strong margin, But that does show 72% think it'll be at least okay. If you're paying out of that, it's pretty good. And
Laughable Larry says, I wish you had late night live streams too, Samuel. He does. It's right now. It's late at night for him. It's the time that I do my late night live streams is when he's doing these. So, yes.
If I did morning live streams, you would all be awake, and all the UK people would be at work. So these are my late night. Thank you, Stuart. Well said. It's 9:51 right now, and that's early compared to how it would have been on another day, etc. But yeah, thank you guys for joining in. We hit our minimum. The poll has been good. I'm excited. Tomorrow is your tomorrow's live. Then Thursday's your first reaction, and then etc. etc. So we are getting there. Not long to find out.
Lots still coming this week from us. Every week, goddamn. Yeah, tune in tomorrow, guys. I'm gonna end that poll though. 38%.
Yes.
Winning that. We hit 180 likes, which is awesome. Kit 10K just throw in $10. I've never been to a Star Trek convention, but if I went dressed up, I'd wear a Starfleet uniform. I've always wanted to be one because I'm always one in STO and only played the other races once.
There's almost a small thing that I said this to Marie. If you don't go in uniform, it's not that you stand out, but there's so many people in uniform that you don't stand out in uniform. It's a weird duology of you just are. Okay, maybe if you're in full makeup or a full Wrath of Khan, you stand out more. But anyone in TOS that looks okay is, well, yeah, they're just in uniform. There's no weird. It's just you know, you can blend in uniform. I think obviously the better you look in uniform, the more you blend in, but or more stand out, I guess. But I certainly felt good in the destination. You know, walking through in full Wrath of Khan is certainly gives you a bit more stride in your step. The full heavy jacket and quite warm, certainly quite effective.
All right, so I guess that's it. Kit 10K has the last super chat slot, so
Epic.
Thank you to everybody. We didn't get 2 members joining the channel. We only got 1, but thank you very much to them.
That was good.
That was Josh Noel. So thank you very much, Josh. Hope you're still here. But thank you for joining. So if you're not here, you're still here because you're part of the team. So
does help. Really, really does. Cool.
Anyway, guys, we'll call it there, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. So until then, he is Commander Cocking.
He's got a 30. Oh.
And Preston M is the last super chat slot.
Boom.
So
Snipe!
there you go.
That's a successful snipe. Bye, guys.